the bat, we're not looking too good. Oh my God, bro. I would give it 1 billion if I could. It's the game of the century. Crazy. 75, very close to the user score. This is our first green Digimon game that we've seen all day. And I don't think there's any other green statement and agree with it. But hold on, this one over to the right just caught my attention. Oh, he said, don't play this game whether you like Digimon or not. All right, so this is basically a follow-up to my Digimon Games and Remasters / Remakes video. I intentionally wanted to minimize the scope of all the Digimon games to the core 3, but it was like, as I was uploading it after editing it for countless hours, I was like, wait a second. We barely talked about any of the Digimon games. But in reality, bro, does it really matter? Just about everything that I said in that video still stands no matter what Digimon game you want to talk about. I essentially created a one-size-fits-all shit. But what's even more funny is the fact that I didn't talk about Digimon World 4, because at the end of the day, I kind of want to act like that game doesn't exist. If you're new to the channel, go watch that video and you'll see what I think. So for starters, why don't we start with Digimon World 4? I guess I gotta type Digimon World 4, huh? Off the bat, we're not looking too good. Oh my God, bro. Bro, I'm telling y'all, we're about to go on an adventure today. We're about to go on an adventure. I'm gonna make a prediction. I would bet that for every Digimon game we look at, the user score is always going to be better than the actual meta score we're getting from critics. Bro, y'all love these games, but statistically, factually, like when we really actually look at it from a neutral lens, these games are ass. IGN, okay, 61. It has a wholly unsatisfying single player game, made worse by a clunky camera and overly cheap enemies. It's also unbalanced, leaving players without any compatriots out in the cold. What? This may please whatever contingency there is of fans who still keep up with Bandai's answer to Pokemon, but for everyone else, this is just a slapdash action RPG that seems more intent on punishing players with clumsy, tedious gameplay than actually engaging or maybe even entertaining them. I really tried to understand the appeal of Digimon, but the bland little scamps just rubbed me the wrong way. Digimon World 4 won't convert anyone who doesn't already get it. I was gonna actually go into these reviews and read them, but after browsing a few of them, they don't say much of anything outside of their last blurb. This gives us all that we need to know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, from my understanding, World 4, very uninspiring, really to the core. The only thing that I gave it, and I will give it, is the action RPG concept. I mean, I think that's the only Digimon game that has that concept. Each button has a different move for your Digimon, and that is something that I think us Digimon fans of today would love. You know, actually being able to use our Digimon in battle. You know what I'm saying? All right, so funnily enough, World 1 doesn't even show up on Metacritic. So what I did was I went over to GameSpot, and we're gonna read their review from 2000. Wow. Digimon World isn't for everyone. Only dedicated Digimon fans or fans of the monster raising genre need apply. And this, again, this is what I keep saying, guys. Like, and it's so crazy because I was reading some of y'all comments and y'all still are adamant on, nah, it's fire. Bro, Digimon will never grow as an IP if we cannot develop a game that is more inviting to new players. You can't grow an IP or a franchise with a cult. I mean, you can, but damn, because you can't, like, think about Persona in a sense, you know? From Software, Dark Souls, they carved it out. But I think, you know, every iteration of the games fine-tune some areas, some aspects. The success of Digimon World will no doubt depend on your willingness to relinquish the traditional level of control you're used to in order to bask in a full, richly constructed world with heavy ties to more classical pursuits. Whether Tamagotchi raising truly deserves to be considered classical is totally up for debate, but in the context of monster raising and the gameplay conventions it has spawned, the term can be used with little or no worry. You see, they give it a 5.1. It's interesting reading these older reviews. They kind of, I mean, I've always been curious. What is the goal of a review? To give you an overview of the game, or to give you you know, a 10,000 foot look at the game? because what I'm reading in these two reviews of World 4, World 1, they talk very specific. But it's interesting because they don't necessarily knock the whole having to take care of your Digimon. And I don't think we should, because I do find magic in that concept of having to really take care of them, to take care of your kids. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about a video game, and I'm trying to have fun. You know what I'm saying? So yes, the taking care is fun, but there gets to a point like, bruh, I have raised you 10 times. Most people don't only have 1 to 2 kids. Why I got, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, let's check out World 2. 42. Lower than World 4. Jesus. It is time to stop the bleeding. End the time-consuming trend of monster training games and demand something better. Damn, but you gave it a 60. You the highest score saying some shit like that. The main difference between this and Pokemon is that Pokemon doesn't suck as much. Gameplay in Digimon World 2 is the equivalent of a snail race. Combat is about as exciting as watching paint dry. Let's look at the user reviews. Look at this man giving it a 10. Yo, y'all are out of pocket. Y'all are insane. I need every one of you that is trapped by nostalgia to take a breather, drink some freaking water, bruh. This game is the best among the Digimon World series with deep storyline, graphics, and Digimon DNA digivolving. Nice! This game is worth a try anyway, and you'll love it. This PS1 game is indeed a dungeon crawler with its ups and downs. It definitely hasn't aged too well. This is 2019. Other Digimon games have come and gone since, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. Mr. Man in 2004 said, this game is horrible. It's so damn slow. So let me see. I did make a prediction. I mean, look, we're at an 8 point, but these like absolute buffoons. What do you I will accept nostalgia making you say, okay, you know, I still think the game is good. But if you're gonna be like, oh, the game is a 10 out of 10, what scale are we going off of, brother? And time for the GOAT. Damn, barely below World 4. I'm telling you, the only reason why it's below World 4 is because of the action RPG. People love action RPG. And yep, what do we know? Anyway, so it's set. Let's see what we got here. For a game whose main gameplay component is building up your characters, Digimon World 3 makes the process needlessly complicated and annoying. Despite some impressive world map graphics and extremely catchy anime style music, Digimon World 3 disappoints in countless ways. The third time is definitely not the charm. My people, hey, I like the consistency. Again with the tomfoolery, 10 out of 10, Sonic fan. He says, this is one of the best PlayStation games I've ever played. This is from 2013. Oh my God. Mainly because the graphics in the game are so well done, even for its generation and year. I can kind of agree with that. This was June 5th in 2002, and look at the battle graphics. I'm with you, Sonic fan. I'm with you. The game does very well at what it tries to do, and why the critics on the site turn this down so badly, I don't know. This is freaking Digimon. That's basically all there is to say about it. The game literally perfected what Pokemon tried for decades. It's got a huge open world with many secrets and NPCs to find. This is the ultimate Digimon game. I would give it 1 billion if I could. It's the game of the century. Crazy. Let's switch it up and hit up some of the DS games. World DS. Okay. That's the high. What year is it? That's the 2006. Geez. All right. Oh, some greens from the critics. Okay. World DS. I honestly don't know much about this one, bro. Old Digimon fans will absolutely love this game. It's a repackaging of the older Digimons, but with much more to do. However, new fans may be a bit wary approaching a game like Digimon World. The game may still be a ripoff of Pokemon, despite developers' attempts to set it apart, but it is still a fun game. If it had more internet capabilities, it could have been one of the better RPGs on the DS. As a gamer who has not only never played a Digimon title until this one, but dropped far too many hours into his copy of Pokemon Diamond, I was quite impressed with what Namco Bandai have brought to the table. I mean, when I look at DS, honestly, the DS games all look pretty solid, and I think it's because they unapologetically were trying their hardest to be like Pokemon from a DS experience, While, because I have to think about it, bro, yes, they were trying to be Pokemon, but when you really understand like Digimon themselves, they've had a structure that they've kept for quite some time. So yes, they might try to be like Digimon or Pokemon, but no matter what, it's always gonna have a Digimon feel. I haven't played this game, but I know for a fact it has that feel. You know what I'm saying? For players that are dying to get their monster battling RPG fix, Digimon World should be a welcome addition to their library. At least until Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. That's so weird reading this, bro. I mean, yeah, this is positive. This is like 2006, somewhat of a turning point for Digimon games, and that's essentially why they continued with DS Digimon games. Moving on, let's check out Digimon, or is it World? Dawn, here we go. 68, so not too far off. This is one of the other DS games that I'm actually interested in trying myself, you know. 68, again, obvious user score higher. So an awesome game. There was very little that I found wrong with this game. Give this one a chance, especially if you're into this unique brand of games. If you were surprised by the quality of the new Pokemon games, or if you're a longtime Digimon fan, this might be worth playing. Right, some yellows. Sure, the story isn't high concept, but this gameplay is really all about fighting and collecting increasingly mean and exotic critters. And on that level, Digimon World Dawn Dusk delivers in spades. Series fans will eat it up, but others may want to contemplate whether learning the Digi ropes is something they're really willing to invest in. That's an interesting statement. Is it that much of a Digi rope? Like, is it that much to understand? Because think about what I just said. Digimon has had a structure for so long, and I also think that's why it's still around, because it had a very, very defined identity, even though it was sharing a lot of similarities to Pokemon. And last but not least, let's check out the Cyber Sleuth games. So we see, what? Yo, y'all bugging. Y'all bugging. The only reason why, I hate this. Whenever you see story, Cyber Sleuth, and then you see the complete edition, nothing changed. Why are you a 76? Well, I guess things did change. I'll take that back. But now, what I don't like about this picture is Hacker's Memory being below Cyber. That is literally disrespectful. Let's start from the top, though. 75, very close to the user score. This is our first green Digimon game that we've seen all day. And I don't think there's any other green. But we all knew that, right? But like I said, bro, Hacker's Memory should be freaking 80. Screw you guys. Anyways. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth took me by surprise the same way the Digimon TV show did a little while back. The evolution/de-evolution mechanic, the Japanese voice track, and the surprisingly mature and deep storyline were my favorite aspects, but the game really has almost no weakness or faults. It's crazy because we talk about this a lot in my streams. 2016, when we got our hands on Cyber Sleuth, that shit was peak. Like peak everything. And then as time goes on, I try playing it again, I think back, I'm like, damn, that game's not that good. Like, it's good, but it's just not as good as I had it and I remembered it when I was playing it initially. It's weird, and I think it goes, again, for all the Digimon games, they don't age the best. They don't age the best. Picking them back up for multiple playthroughs is not this nearly, no matter what, it's always going to diminish, but it is so much more skewed. You know what I'm saying? That second playthrough, bruh, I don't know about Shaw, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. The story and gameplay are a bit samey to other properties out there, but it's easy to look past considering how much fun it is. Interesting they say that, and I think probably the biggest pet peeve we all have around Cyber Sleuth is the boring background. And that's really where World 3 shines. I mean, Next Order 2, but World 3 shines. You know, there's no dancing around the fact that Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is a disappointment. Oh my god, 55. Despite a pleasant art direction and a good representation of the digital monsters, the gameplay is unbalanced, the challenge for the player is basically non-existent, and the storyline is too verbose and full of cliches. Like, I feel like we could pick parts of that statement and agree with it. But hold on, this one over to the right just caught my attention. Oh, he said, don't play this game whether you like Digimon or not. Pros, tons of Digimon, every of them with unique Digivolutions. Cons, the game is just like those identical, mediocre PSP JRPGs. The story is boring, the characters are dumb, and they looks as if they had jumped out of Pokemon gyms. What? As a Digimon fan, I find this game tedious and boring. Now, listen, see, bro, it's the range of this website. You know, you get the worst takes calling a game bad and the worst takes calling a game good. It's just crazy and interesting. Reading this guy's longer review, he said the overarching plot has you finding out how to get your body back. It's your job to solve cybercrimes. And I really think about the story of Cyber Sleuth. it starts peak. It really does. You know, you're like, what's going on? Why is my body like this? But then the game drags on for way too long, to the point where honestly I forgot what the hell I was doing, and I didn't really care. I was just really there for the gameplay. And I think that's part of what makes the game not be the best replay, have the best replay value, because you got to go through a lot to get anywhere. And that's what I feel like Hacker's Memory fixes, but they're giving it a lower score. So let me see what these guys got to say. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, what? Yo, what is wrong with y'all? The only thing I can think is that it's too much. Like, yo, this is disrespectful. Not only is the user score lower, but now they broke my prediction that the user score is always going to be higher. Yo, I don't know if I can trust y'all Digimon fans no more. What is this monstrosity, this abomination? Anyways, let's start from the bottom this time around. Digimon is a decaying series, so it doesn't surprise me that its next attempt at a good game comes with a very weak story, bad gameplay mechanics, and boring Digimon, despite those being in theory the most important part of such a game. It's time for Bandai Namco to move on to a healthier. I love the range game higher, but there are way too many flaws. Visual games are repetitive. Well, I mean, like, this is that's a valid statement, but it's just messed up that we're rating this one lower than Cyber Sleuth. This is the type of area where I don't like Metacritic, but there's no excuse for this, y'all. This should be like a 9.0, and y'all got it to be the lowest. Bro, this is in old school Digimon user score categories. What the freak is going on here? I don't even want to read this shit, dog. Hacker's Memory follows the same path that the previous title had, but at the same time going one step beyond. Thank you. And also a better pace on completing side missions, complete an amazing title in the franchise. I mean, side missions and main story, but I guess that's a good point. The side missions aren't as thrown in your face as they are in Cyber Sleuth, bro. Like chapter, I'm just throwing out a number, chapter like 20 to like 25, I don't even know. There's this period in Cyber Sleuth that is just useless. It doesn't need to be there. Again, what I said it in the stream recent. No matter, even if I make that statement, I will acknowledge the side missions. They were very fun. You know what I'm saying? They were very fun. Here we go. Cog connected. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory is a worthy successor. The story is engaging from the first minute of gameplay, and I personally found it difficult to turn the game off to go to bed. There we go. Here we go. This guy's spitting, but I don't know what this score is about. It may not be a true sequel, but the quality put into the story, combat, and progression make it a worthy successor. That is a perfect blurb. Outside of that useless ass score, that should be an 80. But anyway, so COG gives Cyber Sleuth a 74, and then they give Hacker's Memory a 77. Yep. See, that's what the score should be. 74 to 77. I'd give it an 80 for being honest. So that I like it. All right, so I don't know. That was interesting to kind of do. You know, I've always wanted to kind of look back at those games, especially I've been getting more involved in Digimon as a whole, because bro, I was never aware of these older Digimon games as a kid. I never heard of them ever in my life. I knew of Digimon, but I never heard of the games. You know what I'm saying? I also had a very small resume when it comes to gaming as a kid back in the day, but regardless, I've always wanted to see how people thought about them. I've been getting a lot of your thoughts through videos, comments, and whatnot, so that's cool, but I want to see what reviewers had to say. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know what y'all think about the reviews that we watched or we read in this video. Bro, my camera, bro, just keeps falling. It's the most annoying shit. But anyways, hope y'all enjoy. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.